Hello. Hello, everybody. Hey, listen, I just want to touch base with everyone about Empire Network. I know you guys are probably seeing quite a bit out there, a lot of different people out there. I got involved in Empire Network probably like a year ago, and I got all in, and right off the bat, I was very pumped up, and got into it, and started doing things and so forth, and then, life happened, and, I got sort of distracted and got pulled over here, and then kind of came back and went over there, kind of came back, and obviously it was not as fruitful as I wanted it to be because I did not put forth the effort. But in the recent past, something has happened to me where I had to make a choice, and I came back and I put myself all in regards to doing all the modules and doing all the webinars and listening to what they say, and it's been a tremendous change. One piece of advice that I can definitely tell you from before doing this and doing this now, which has made an incredible difference, is before I was so excited and got into it, I'm on this pink cloud and sort of thing, and doing the videos and watching the video going, hey, this is some great stuff, writing it down and going to the next one and thinking like, wow, this is really some really great stuff, and just writing it down again and going to the next one, and before you know it, I was on the 8th video and writing things down, and I forgot what I was supposed to do in the first video and the second video, so I started like pulling things off of my notes, and then I couldn't read my chicken scratch, so things got lost, and that was my big mistake. My recommendation is watch a video, and whatever it tells you to do in that video, stop and do it. Then go to the next video. Do it, stop, and then do it. Because then as you're doing that, it's already growing and it's already progressing higher and higher and higher. That was my biggest mistake in the beginning, and I think that actually got me a little frustrated and a little discouraged with myself, not with the business but with myself, and I didn't really realize that until I started doing it again these past couple of months and really doing it the right way, and what a change. So anyways, so that's that. I did want to tell you a little bit about myself, and you can shut this email off if you want, this video off if you want at this particular point. That's okay. But I've been in the industry for network marketing for probably about 2 years now, almost 3 years probably, with different companies, one of which I am actually still with. I believe in their product, and it's actually helping my dad, so I really am very strongly with that company still, for personal reasons more than anything. But I gotta be honest, doing the meetings, and everyone that's been in network marketing before, you have to do meetings, and there's this secret meeting you got to come to, and and tell my friend to come to it, and she's like, well, why? And I'm like, I can't tell you, it's a secret, and just come, and it'll be all there, and I'll explain, and they're just like, okay, whatever. And more than times than not, they'll come because they're my friend, then they're not my friend afterwards, or they won't take my phone calls afterwards for a while. But it was, and some came in and some didn't, but it's the meetings and all that stuff, and it got me down and wore me down, about the industry a little bit too. So then I found Empire Network, and I found that happy medium, where, I don't have to do the meetings and the phone calls and the constant follow-up. I help my team, don't get me wrong, because I know in the beginning, if I would have reached out and asked for help, I think that I probably would have been a lot farther along than I am. I would have been on that stage already. So I definitely do help the people that are around me that say, hey, I don't understand this, can you help me? And it's like, cool, I'll help you, no problem. But it's not the constant babysitting, I've got 3 kids, 11, 12, and 13, and I babysit them. I don't want to babysit at work. So, I mean, they're going through enough teenage hormonal changes right now that, I don't know, God bless them, and just say a prayer for me. But anyways, before I went into network marketing real quick, and then I'll move on, is, I was in the financial industry, and it was a controller, segment analyst, and I worked the hours, I worked the budget, I worked the, the 9 to 5 jobs. I worked the 7 in the morning job till 7 at night job or later. I did all that, and I don't want to do that anymore. I really don't. And, when I was working that 7 in the morning job till 7 at night job, I was so unhappy. My kids were at home, and I couldn't be there with them. My boss at the time didn't have any kids, and, the CPA that I was working with, she didn't have any kids either. And and they were younger than I was, and it was okay for them, to work all those hours. They're actually, one was my age, but anyways, it was okay for them to work there because they were into it. They were into their career. They were in it, and they had that drive, and that was cool. That was great, but it wasn't for me. And I was sacrificing my time with my kids, and they couldn't understand that. And God love them, but they couldn't understand that, I want to go home. I want to go home and see my kids. It got to be such a point that, my kids are in lacrosse and soccer and so forth, and it got to a point where, like, literally, I had to call people to tell them, Kate, can you pick up my kid and take him to soccer practice? Can you, or, tell my husband, hey, I know you want to do this tonight, but can you do this? And, I'll try to pick him up, and I'll pick him up, and, all of that stuff. And I was missing so much. And, I had a lot of stuff happen in my life, and I'm sure many of you do it. As a matter of fact, I'm sure everyone has our skeletons in our closet, and have had things in baggage, and I just don't. I guess I'm at the point in my life where I don't want that baggage anymore. Life is too short, and doing this with Empower Network, I've had the opportunity lately to be able to do this full time, regarding being able to stay home and do it, and it's been wonderful. It actually has. And being able to do this, but I did it part-time before, and it's definitely feasible. You just got to be able to do it the right way, and do what they say, not your own way like I did, thinking I knew what I was doing, because obviously, I was the millionaire and they weren't, right? And my way was so much better, right? But anyways, I'm doing this now, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice to be able to be home with my kids this past year. So it's actually been a lot longer than a couple months this past year, and it's been cool to be able to get involved. And my youngest one is in 5th grade, and it's his last year in elementary school, and then after that point, they go to middle school and so forth. You can't be known as their mom anymore. It's kind of like, don't go. But in elementary school, you're still okay to come to school and do things with them. So I was able to get involved in a project with my son and a group of his kids, and it was a community project, and it took a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I could never have done it when I was working part-time or full-time. And I was able to do it, and it's something that he will remember for the rest of his life, and it's something I will remember for the rest of my life. And we made a difference in the community, and it was really a cool thing to see, and not many people that I know can say that they have that opportunity. And I want to have more of those now. I don't want to go back to the corporate world, and I had to make that decision. Do I want to go back to the corporate world, or do I want to do what they say and do the right thing and do what I'm supposed to be doing and do this? And that's what I did. So I bought my ticket to Chicago. I started getting through everything and making, watching the first video, going back. So if you are in Empower Network and you just delve back into it, go back. Watch the first video, do what they say. Watch the next video, do what they say, and so forth. It makes a tremendous difference. I think the biggest decision that I made was, a couple weeks ago, I was, driving to school in the morning because my lovely 13-year-old, love him dearly, but, for the 10th gazillionth time, called me from his cell phone on his bus on the way to school saying, hey Mom, I forgot to have you sign something, you gotta come to school, or I need this, or I need that. And I'm just like, You couldn't have remembered that like 15 minutes ago. Really? Please? And it doesn't change. It doesn't change no matter how many times I plead with him to, do you have everything? Anyways, blah. Don't get me off on that one. So I'm on my way to school. I'm in my pajamas. And I am, you know, my hair's in a ponytail. I got no makeup on, you know, pajamas on. They kind of look like pants, so I was able to get by with it. And I live in the West End where I am, and rush hour is rush hour. You know, it's jam-packed with cars, and as I'm telling myself that I love my son so much, as I'm trying to weave in and out of this wonderful traffic, that I'm watching the people, and I was looking around, and I was like, wow, you know, there was so much anxiety and so much pressure on these people just to get to work. They're not even at work yet, and you know they're all dressed up and fixing their makeup and talking on the phone and zipping in and out, and everyone's in such a rush, therefore rush hour. But I mean, there was so much tension just to get to work, and they're not even at work yet. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like I was laughing. I was like, wow, I was that. That was me, and I don't want to be back there anymore. I want to change that. I don't want to be there. And so that was my, you know, my final thing of, you know, to get all in and do everything that I can to make sure that I don't have to go back, you know. So watch the video to the right side or to my other right, or whatever way it is on your video screen. It's a lengthy video. Not lengthy, because that sounds horrible, but it's a longer video from David. But it really tells you about the industry. If you haven't been in it, it tells you about the industry, where it is, and where it's come, and you know what he sees that he can do, and he's done it. It's changed actually from when I first started it, so it's really cool that I went back and saw all this stuff again. And you know, get all in, you know. And if you've been in network marketing before, like I have, you will truly understand what he says is truth in this video. And he gives you some free stuff in there, and it's a good place to start. So anyways, enough of that. So I hope that I see you in Chicago, and I hope to see you as part of my team. I'm here. The number is on my blog if you need to contact me, or on my website. So anyways, I wish you all the luck, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and God bless. Bye-bye.